Welcome to Fathers on the Front Line. I'm Phil Chiaro. Today, you're going to watch a short video containing a conversation about talking between my son and me. James is 16 years old. He's a junior in high school. And it's important that parents understand that the communication between them and their child evolves through time. And we've entered into a time where he doesn't always seem quite as interested in filling in the details as his mom and I would like. And that causes us to feel certain things. But at the same time, hopefully, the trust that I have towards him will continue to grow and expand so that we believe that though he's not telling us everything we would like to hear, he's not always providing the details of his thought process and his actions that we would like to understand and like to know about. We've allowed him the space to maybe process those things in a way that will allow him to become the young man that we aspire him to be. So I hope you enjoy this. We talk a little bit about where we're at, where we would like to be, the role of social media, and how that also affects his conversational style. So have fun. Let me hear you.
Hello, 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 hello.
Can you introduce yourself, young man?
I'm James.
We discuss what's on your mind and in my mouth.
Stop.
Oh, you acted like a dork. I can act like a dork.
Cringe.
All right, so let's get started right away. What does communication for a 16-year-old junior in high school look like with your parents? What does it look like?
I think it's just being or trying to be as honest as you can, but also, you have a lot of stuff going on that maybe just aren't in the mood to talk about sometimes when you have a long day. So you'd rather just go home and tell your parents about your day at dinner, and then that's it. Because you have a lot more stuff at home to do, like homework, which is very important this year. So yeah, that's just what I usually do. Just very minimal amounts of talking.
Is that an attempt to just save your energy? Is it an attempt to what is it in an attempt of? I mean, because you do tend to be quiet and somewhat I don't want to say withdrawn. I don't think it's withdrawn, but you do seem to be somewhat less than energetic when it comes to sort of providing any kind of meaningful detail. I mean, do you think that we're asking just to hear ourselves talk, or do you think we're genuinely curious?
Well, I think you're curious, but uh, we'll also just like talking about the same things every day.
Mm,
uh, so usually I have my go-to of what I say, which is very similar every day,
mm,
just about my classes and there's something funny my friend said, or something like that.
right.
So usually I always know what I'm gonna say before I even say it.
Yeah. I think we also know what you're going to say before you say it. Um, how do you think your answers are being interpreted by your mom and me? I mean, what do you think our thought processes is after sort of hearing sort of these kinds of answers?
Mm, well, I feel like if I say the same thing every day, you might think I'm hiding something, or I just don't want to like talk about anything that may have happened at school, but it's just that's not true. It's just every day at school is pretty much the same. Um, Same classes. I only have 6 classes this year I'm taking now, so just very repetitive every day. So that's why when I talk at the dinner table, it's mostly the same stuff.
Mm.
Yeah.
How are you processing it all? right? Processing like, oh, well, this friend of mine sort of says certain things that I'm not quite sure about, or this girl, I think she might have a crush on me, or oh, this teacher seems to be a little off today. And how are you feeling about sort of these new things that you're constantly having to deal with as you become a young adult? You understand the difference? And I guess I just have to be patient, or maybe that's just not the way you feel comfortable communicating. You understand? So, what do you think about that?
Mm, well, I think at school I'm mostly quiet as well. You know,
Are you? Because sometimes your teachers sort of lead me to believe that you tend to be, you know, I mean, I think you're a personable. I mean, I don't see you as this quiet, you know, wallflower that just sits in the corner and twiddles his thumbs. I know that you have different personas, right? I mean, obviously, you sometimes act differently around your parents than you would your mates. At school, that's perfectly acceptable and natural. Nobody's worried about that. But it's like, um, but we have fun too, right? We joke around. It's not like I never see sort of your funny side and your goofy side and your immature side, those kinds of things, right? What do you think?
well, yeah, I'm probably like a bit different at school sometimes, but I think, for example, at the basketball game, I'll be loud on the court because that's what my coach wants, and then on the bench, I'll be joking around because that's where I spend most of my time on my games. Just uh, but then at the end of the day, when we're all on the bus going back to school, at the end, I'm always just sitting by the window and looking outside and just not talking to anyone. That's just how I like it
So what
sometimes.
are you doing if you're not talking? You're sort of is it your energy level, or is that just the way you feel more comfortable in those certain contexts, or what is that about?
No, it's just I'd rather just be looking outside and just having my own thoughts, and then that's it.
I mean, what's going on around you when that's happening? Is there a lot of commotion, a lot of funny jokes being told, a lot of flirting between the boys and the girls? I mean, set the scene for me.
Well, just my friends, they're playing on their phones, and then there's people talking about
Yeah, you say you're
the
looking out
game.
the window, but you're probably looking at your phone too,
I'm
right?
not. I'm actually looking out the window.
Okay.
Because it's well, all of our games have been in nice places, so sometimes I take a few photos.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, usually there's a lot of stuff happening, like players talking about strategy, which might never be used. They just like talking about it, and then people on their phones, and yeah. Mm, well, sometimes they ask like, "Oh, why do you look so sad?" But I have to say, I'm not. I'm just sitting here appreciating life.
It's cool. It's cool. And that goes over well with them. They're like, "Oh, that's cool. Have fun."
No, they just say, "Okay," and just go back to what they were doing.
Okay. Cool. Challenges, whatever they are. Tell us first of all, like, how do you use the various Discord or Instagram, or I don't even know which ones you're using currently. Which ones are you using typically? Where's most of your messages coming from?
Probably Instagram.
Yeah.
Uh, but no, I don't think I'm on that much. Uh,
Comparatively, or just
but yeah, compared to them, like my friends, I mean, um, but that's not because like I don't have anyone to talk to.
mm,
It's just I'd rather not. I've already told them I'm trying to lower my screen time this year,
how's
and
that going?
it's going pretty well. It's at like 2.5 hours a day now,
2.5 hours, yeah.
which is better than last year.
Well, what
So
about what about what are you typically chatting with your friends about on Instagram or wherever? What tends to be the tone and the content?
sometimes it's just very random. Sometimes it's just either about like someone might just text me, "Oh, LeBron sucks" or something,
Mm.
just because they know I'm a LeBron fan. But whatever. It's just very random. Just sometimes it's about like a basketball game I have, or chats about homework, but usually that's about it.
Yeah. Do you have a certain habitual or a persona? Like,
Not really. Like a lot of my friends just they like send reels on Instagram,
mm,
right? So then, well, I usually don't respond to them. I just like clicking on them so I don't see a notification for it anymore, and I just exit. And they always ask me why you're just leaving on scene. I say, oh, I just don't like seeing that I have an unopened message.
as far as like, you know, communication in the future, how do you think that's going to look once you sort of leave the house and move out into the world? What would be your best case scenario? What do you see your mom and I as in the future when we're no longer cooking your meals and washing your clothes and living next door in the next room, I should say?
Hmm. I probably like um. Usually with friends, if they move away, I'm not very good at keeping in touch.
Well, good Lord, are you saying
I
you're not
know,
going to keep in
but
touch?
then I mean like, but then if we lived in separate areas, I'd probably be different. I tell you when I wake up and probably call you at night, just
Mm,
talking about the day. Probably not what we do with Nan and Papa like once a week, obviously.
mm.
But just I do it every night, and then I just say my usual stuff in the morning about have a good Monday and right before school
We're
and
going to do
stuff.
this every day.
Yeah.
Good Lord. Eesh.
Uh,
And so we're kind of learning, I guess, some things together. What would you like me to know about you to help me in the next year and a half?
mm, just that I'll turn out okay. You know, I'll come home safe every day,
Mm.
and I think I'll just I know the difference between a good choice and a bad choice, but mostly. So yeah.
Do you think at this point your understanding of a good and bad choice sort of align or in agreement with sort of what you think your mom and I think about those things?
Probably similar. Maybe besides video games, I might still start one when I shouldn't.